Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
We're finally back, Nelson.
Back and at it again.
After a short delay. Due to, as you may be able to hear from you particularly, maybe a little bit in my voice.
Yep.
We haven't been super well.
Yep, that's right. But, I mean, this is the first time we're late and have an excuse.
Yeah. You know what's funny is often we'll just be late, and that's just that. Like, we just decide we're late this week. This week, I thought, well, I'll do the right thing, and I'll tell people, hey, we've been a little unwell. We're going to be a little bit late.
Yep.
And it's the most engagement we've got on most of our platforms in a long time, which tells me that people want to know if the show's going to be late.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Well, we'll do it. We'll tell you in future if it's going to happen. Don't you worry.
Or
that's a commitment we're going to make right now.
is it just that more people on average like the idea that the show is late because we're sick, and they're like, good.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe it's actually mean.
There's arseholes. They hate us.
Apologies for any coughing and splattering throughout the episode. We'll try and keep it to a minimum. But as you know, we're obviously not going to edit them out.
Yeah, that's right. If you're a new listener, you might think, they're sick. They don't want to do editing afterwards. But
if you're a new listener as well, you try last week.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Camber.
Yes.
Would you believe it? Do you know what is at the top of the show notes?
A couple of dollar signs at the top of the show notes.
Dollar,
which
money, moolah.
Yes. Are we getting paid for this now?
Well, Camber, for the first time in this podcast history, we've made money.
What? Did someone buy a T-shirt?
Somebody bought a T-shirt.
Our only bit of merchandising we've ever done.
We have one T-shirt. It's called I Heart Jury Nullification. And it's a T-shirt in which it's to try and get out of jury duty, basically.
Yeah, many episodes ago, we discovered that jury nullification is something that obviously you can't do on a jury. So we designed a T-shirt as official show merch showing your love for jury nullification that you would wear to your interview to be on a jury to help you get out of it.
Yeah. That's right. And so I don't know if this was just a listener, somebody listened to an old episode and decided to buy one of the shirts, or somebody was like, I really need to get out of jury duty. And I'm kind of hoping it's the last of that.
This is my marketing brain working on Nelson. On the T-shirt anywhere doesn't mention our podcast.
Yeah, it does not.
Oh, no.
No.
Someone's just got a free out of jury duty card and they don't even have to know about our podcast.
But, Campo, I've realized after we got this first sale, I thought, oh my God, this is it.
Yeah, merch galore.
So I went on to Redbubble and I created some more shirts and stuff.
Oh, great.
With our logo on it.
Yep, great.
Feel free to go on to
are
Redbubble.
These, things that we've talked about on the show, I presume? Maybe catchphrases that we've come up with?
It's just our logo. It says Reddit on Reddit. Some of them I tried to purposefully put like a bit off center or not stretch crack like, because I think it's funny that the merchandise represents the show and its quality.
It's almost there, but not quite.
Yeah. So it's got like it's just the square, orange square. It has not even our logo. It's the Reddit logo. It's probably illegal. I had to tick a box that said we had permission for the images that we're putting on the shirts. I'm sure they're fine with it.
Yeah.
Do you know on my LinkedIn profile now I say that I work for Reddit? Nobody's pulled me up. Right?
That's a good. Like, obviously, if no one tell Reddit this, but we use their logo a lot in all our promotional materials, and we've never once asked. So everyone keep quiet about that.
I quickly did a search on Redbubble after I did it to see if there was any other Reddit logos, being used.
Yeah,
and there was like maybe one or two.
So we've
out
cornered
of
the
a
market.
whole range. I was like, they probably slowly get taken down.
Here's what we do, right? Because there was one or two other Reddit podcasts, and we just with tenacity went after them until we are the longest running Reddit-based podcast. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We're also the highest volume of Reddit-based t-shirts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Got a lot of notches on our belt.
Yeah. But I think if there's a phrase or something that we've once said on this podcast that people think should be put onto a shirt, I will do a graphic design mock-up and I'll put it onto a t-shirt for them.
Yep. I think that's it. Get the billboards, far too expensive.
Yeah.
T-shirts, get other people to pay for it.
How much do we make off that one shirt?
It's like $4.
Sweet.
It's a pretty good amount of money.
And guys,
I think the t-shirt itself was like 20 to 30. Yeah. Like, it's expensive for a t-shirt.
Guys, that's $4. It's gone straight back into the podcast.
Yeah.
If it sounds just ever so slightly better next week, you know what?
Yep. $4 better. But yeah, feel free to go on. There's also like coffee mugs and stuff.
Oh, yeah, because Redbubble, you kind of just upload a design and then they'll put it on whatever.
Yeah, they just put it on everything. Yeah. There's some, though, that I'm pretty sure it's just not going to come out right. But I think those are the ones that you should buy.
You've had a busy day off sick, haven't you?
Yes. It's very it's productive. Okay. Camber, let's get into Reddit on Reddit.
Okay, enough flogging our merchandise like a proper established podcast does.
Yeah, that's everybody else has ads at the start their podcasts. Yeah. We're flogging shirts.
This episode is brought to you by Audible. We just didn't say.
Okay. This first one is by that one girl. My Uber driver offered a conversation menu for his ride.
Okay.
And it follows.
So she got in the car. He said, "Good evening, madame. Please see tonight's menu." And he passed her over a conversation menu.
Yes. Would you like a glass of water?
Yep.
Here's the menu.
Yeah.
So there's a few things here.
Mm-hmm.
The road rage ride.
Okay.
I complain about every other driver, their vehicles, and why they shouldn't be allowed on the road. The analyst ride. Something bothering you? I listen with a sympathetic ear and maybe help you see your problem with some clarity.
Okay.
In brackets, no guarantees.
Yeah. Or any professional accreditations?
Yeah. No guarantees or yeah.
Obviously, legally, don't take my advice.
The informative ride. I tell you as much as I can about Alaska and why you didn't stay here long enough to see all the important stuff.
Okay.
The restaurant ride. I talk about the variety of restaurants and help you decide where to eat. Sometimes I even offer suggestions on which waitress to ask for.
Okay.
That's such an American thing, don't you think?
Yeah.
Asking for a particular waitress.
Yeah. So we have a lot of American listeners.
Yeah.
And I know that your waitresses and waiters are paid pretty small nominal
they
amount.
Shit.
And therefore tips are really prevalent.
Are the wage.
And therefore the service is actually a lot better in America.
Oh yeah.
Because here
people have to work for
our
it.
waiters and our waitresses actually get paid a very decent wage.
Yeah.
I think it's what's our minimum wage? It's like $18, $19 or something.
I don't think it's that high.
No, I think it's recently gone up pretty. It's one of the top. And waiters and waitresses are normally kind of even a bit above that. So you'd be earning maybe $19 an hour as a waiter.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
So we don't rely on tips because you don't need them. And for that reason, I've never learnt a waiter's name. And he's never learnt mine.
Yeah.
And there's just not that relationship.
Nobody cares. I'm so okay with it. Because when I go to America, I feel like pressured into a relationship between my waiter and having to know You know, and then I'm kind of like, am I meant to be assessing you? Because I'm going to tip you later. I don't know, but I'm going to tip you regardless because I have to.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's true. But
It's
wait,
a weird dynamic.
waiters here, they'll openly have to stain for you. They don't care.
Yeah.
Like, here you go, you dickhead.
Yeah. Okay. The Simon and Garfunkel ride, Sounds of Silence.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Clever name.
The Life's Lessons ride. I share some of life's most essential lessons. Take them or leave them.
Interesting.
The political ride. Just kidding. You have yours. I have mine. I can't change your mind, and you can't change mine. The me ride. I tell you all about me. And then at the bottom he says, want your picture taken? A course in photography has given me a solid foundation for snapping good pictures.
Okay. Is that like an extra you can add on?
It's just just add on.
Okay.
I mean, it's all free add-on, so I'm guessing. Doesn't have any prices actually. I would charge.
Yeah, Uber doesn't have to know about that a little bit off the top, do they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's the way you do it. And like, I would charge for stuff that I don't want to really talk about, like the road rage thing. That's cheap. You might get that if you choose something else.
So
it's just gonna slip in there.
Which of the menu items would you choose?
I want to know people's like life lessons.
I was
their
thinking the same thing because I just want to know. Like, I guess I want to know how old this Uber driver is. Because if he's my age, I'm like, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know we don't know anything.
No, we got
but if he's a little older, it was a he. You said, wasn't it?
I think so.
He or she. I guess we didn't really even say. If he or she were a little older.
His ride, yes.
Okay, yeah. Then I would be interested in some life lessons.
Yeah. Do you think you have any life lessons? I mean, I know we know nothing, but if you had to.
Nothing that anyone older than me has figured them out. So if they were younger than me, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you tell a younger you? Or you're just a younger person?
A younger person. Don't bother going out. It's not like
yeah.
It's kind of expensive and you get home real late and
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. I didn't think we'd make very good Uber drivers.
No. Where you guys going? I'm going out to a nightclub. No, I'll turn around.
Don't do that. I'll tell you what. I'll go around the block and I'll drop you back. You'll thank me for it later, young man and women.
I see a lot of myself in you, young man. I too used to go out. But we'll lose all your money and you end up driving Uber.
Yeah.
So this is what I think I would request. I would say, please, life lessons. Yeah. But, in restaurants, sometimes you can go like a la carte or, you can mix things up. I would say I would also like a side of that road rage.
Yeah.
So I want you to be giving me life lessons, but if someone cuts you off, I would like to hear about that.
Stop life lessons. So tell me why this person's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I find actually funny on that topic is like, I don't know if you've ever had an Uber driver, this bad Uber driver, or if who's just made a mistake. I find even taxi drivers as well. I find it really funny when, like I remember this lady once that just totally cut off another car and then she's getting beeped.
Right.
And I'm in there like, oh, this is awkward that you definitely almost got into an accident because you're an idiot. And she's like, this bloody guy thinks he's, is meant to go in front of me or something. And I was like, this is just so crazy. So I don't know. I think that would be actually like a great experience.
Okay.
Is almost, if you get their road rage conversation, but they're always in the wrong. I think that would be an entertaining element of the ride.
I did once have an Uber driver. This was in New York. We were going to we're going to a play. So it was on Broadway. And Broadway is kind of like a lot of it intersects with Times Square, and that's like a nightmare to get in and out of. So we thought, well, we'll get an Uber there because it was kind of a distance, but we were aware that would be a shitty bit of traffic.
Yeah.
And then this guy that picked us up was just kind of like one of those people that very bravely changed lanes.
Yeah.
Right? He's just like, I'm in here now. I'm in here. And he got to the point where he's like, Oh, I won't be able to park anywhere. You guys just gonna have to get out. We just had to get out while he was idling in the middle of the road.
And I don't really want to slow down either.
Yeah.
So you just tuck, duck, and roll. Here's a life lesson: tuck, duck, and roll.
Interesting about this menu is I noticed that it's all him talking to you, but there's not an option for him to just hear about your day.
No, there's a
No. He'll tell you the solutions to your problems or whatever. But that's very him again.
Yeah.
But what if it's just like, you know what? You vent. You had a tough day at work. You vent.
Okay. Yeah, he says, I'll listen with a sympathetic ear and maybe help you see.
Okay, right. So maybe that one is the venting option.
So if he starts talking, I'm like, hey, shut up. Do you know what would be great, actually, is to get in and just admit to like a horrendous crime. Like, I'm so stressed at the moment. I killed 3 children on my way over here.
Just quickly.
In a car accident. That's why I'm taking you. Because my car is totaled.
Just quickly, we've got that Uber client confidentiality, right?
Yeah.
And then halfway through your confession, move into the front seat.
Okay.
It's really be like, hang on, I need to get real close to you. We're having a moment here.
Yeah.
I'm going to come up there.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right, Camber. Let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Eton77. If you got $1 for every person of the opposite sex who found you unattractive, how would you make sure you got all $3.5 billion?
Okay. Ooh, interesting. Do you think... I think that we could do this already, Nelson.
Done.
All you got to do...
I'm hideous.
At the moment, yeah, we could both... both probably do it.
You know what? I'm sure I could get a few million.
Yeah.
I don't need a 3.5 billion.
Yeah.
I'm not an incredibly attractive man.
Yeah.
I mean,
just go to a culture where they don't find kind of like middle class white men that appealing. You're like, sweet.
I'm sure if I went to Asia, there'd just be a ton of Asian women that are like, no, just not my type.
Yeah. I think that we have a slight advantage as well because, take that into consideration, and then you slide up next to a girl and you go, hey, I'm on a podcast.
Oh,
instant.
Yeah, that's
instant
true.
Dislike of you.
Oh, yeah.
And the more you badger them to listen, the less attractive you are.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah, it's very much the art of the conversation.
Yeah.
just trying to whip out the podcast as often as possible.
Mm-hmm. And I feel we have protection on the podcast. Because you're listening to it, that we can talk about the podcast. So that's okay when we tell the listeners at the end of the episode, hey, subscribe and listen or whatever. But
we don't know.
Yeah, that's
true. We do it.
Yeah.
I'm not surrounded by honeys. That's all I'm saying, Cambo. Maybe this is the problem.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this podcast? I can have a family.
I am your family, Nelson. Tell you that every week.
Yeah, I know.
I have nothing against people that write poetry. I'm going to say that first of all.
Okay.
But people that often publicly try and get people to listen to their poetry.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's a real downer.
Okay. That's an unattractive quality, you think?
It's an annoying quality, surely.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think an annoyance, obviously, an unattractive quality.
Yeah. I think it's all part of it. Actually, my recent experience, I think, is just being sick. And today I went down. I had a really sore back because I've basically been lying down for like a week straight. Yeah. And it just kills my back. And so I went to get a massage, and I could just tell walking down. I mean, I'm in tracksuit pants and stuff anyway. I'm just like not looking pretty in general. But I can just tell as I'm talking to like the person about getting a massage and stuff, they're just pretty off-put that I'm there. I'm sniffling a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, anyway, so if you could just rub your hands on my back, that'd be super, because I am not well.
And normally, like, maybe if they're doing a good job, people might like let out a little moan or something like,
Yeah.
But you'd be like, oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
Oh yeah, my sinuses are clearing right up.
Do you have any tissues?
Yeah. So I think, I think if you're just trying to get people to be unattracted by you, just be sick.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to be
Yep.
unattracted by people that are sick.
Yep. And then if you really want to like double down on that, be sick but wear a funny t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like Bank of Dad is always a good one.
Classic.
Last Clean Shirt is a classic as well.
Yeah.
Any of those funny
Especially
t-shirts.
if it is your last clean shirt. That's a good one.
Yeah, tell that joke. I know it says, but it actually is
But
my
really,
last clean shirt.
Guys, this is my last one. Yeah. Also, I feel like neck beard.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Now that I think about it, if I'm just looking at unattractive quality of males, the more beard that you got going down your neck that's like unkempt.
Yeah.
No, hasn't been styled at all. That's gross.
Mm-hmm.
That's a gross thing.
You're just looking at my neck beard, I can tell.
No, you shave yours. That's
I do.
fine.
I've got
I've
got quite a trim beard.
Yeah. Okay. Here is another one. This is by Panda Fighters. How do you stop being a lazy, useless piece of shit?
Speed. You just take a bunch of speed. You've got so much energy.
You can't not be doing something.
Yeah. Like we can't stress that enough. You can't
You-
not be doing something.
yeah. You are on edge constantly. So, yeah. Sometimes I'll just be braiding stuff.
We had a good quote one time. I think it was in the Get Motivated subreddit,
Right,
which the person talked about the difference between motivation and dedication, and how
Oh, right,
dedication is actually the thing that people should be applauded for,
Yeah.
not motivation.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
motivation's
Motivation's
strike
fleeting
you,
or something.
and you wake
yeah.
up and you're like, I am going to go for a run. Yes, I'm so motivated.
yeah.
Whereas dedication is waking up being like, I really, really don't want to go for a run today. It's cold and it's wet and I've got to bed. And you still get up and you still go for a run.
Yeah.
So I think even just that mindset, I'm
Yeah.
answering this kind of seriously. I think even
Oh,
that-
no, I
that-
agree. I didn't think that it would necessarily, we'd have funny responses. We're trying to help this person out. Can be.
So I think that mindset of the difference between dedication and motivation and knowing which one you're going to strive for is like at least the first step to actually doing something that you want to do. Whether that is like be less lazy or achieve a goal or something like that.
Yeah.
Is to choose not to be motivated to do it, but choose to be dedicated to do it.
Yeah. And I think it's that acknowledgement of that it's hard to not be lazy.
Yeah.
As well. Because that's so, I mean, it sounds like a simple concept, but it's knowing that it's going to be hard and that you should just do it anyway, because that's the whole point. And then you'll feel better after you've done it a million times over.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny actually? And you actually told me this once, and I don't know whether you still go by this saying, but it actually I sort of don't like it in the sense of what you were just talking about,
Okay, right.
dedication over motivation.
Uh-huh.
And you said that, or you had heard somebody say, "Oh, the person who takes the before photo of their, before and after,
Yeah. So
trying to lose weight,
Yeah. Right.
that person is the strongest person because they, have taken the step to
Right, yeah, that
take
is
their-
that is a quote from Sean T, who's like a fitness guy. That's his
Right.
whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But I totally fundamentally disagree with that, I think. Because I think no, it's the person that takes the after photo.
Yeah.
That's the brave person. That's the one that's done the most work. That's the one that's gone through that dedication and it hasn't been lazy, because that you can take a before photo every day.
And
theoretically,
if that-
you just have the motivation to be like, all right, today I'm going to do it. I'll take that photo. That means nothing.
And there's, I think that what he was referring to is more of the mental, like you've decided to make a change, which is mentally a hurdle to overcome, to be like, all right, I'm deciding now.
Yeah.
It's not in the back of my mind. I'm deciding to do it. But I see what you said.
But I think you can do that every week, because you can say, okay, oh man, I've had enough. I'm going to change. And then the next week you've dropped all the things that you were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then a week later you're like, you know what? I'm going to change again. I'm going to take another photo again. Like I just see that the point of like, no, you have to get to the after photo. That's your your goal.
I've tried so many times, right, with like these weight loss things. You got to do the before and the after photo, and I've taken all of these before photos, and then you never end up getting through to the after photo. So all you end up with is a bunch of photos of you in your underwear, out of shape on your phone. So when people are scrolling through, they're like, "Why do you every couple of months you take a couple of photos of yourself in your underwear next to a wall? What's with this?" And like, what are you gonna? You're like, I guess I'm just a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah. Maybe that's how you get people to find you unattractive. Show them your phone of all the, hey, it's me in my underwear.
Here's a free
Looking
life
pretty
hack
fat.
for you. If you want to be lazy but still get all the congratulations, take a before photo now, right?
Yeah.
Then just live a life.
Yeah.
Like really eat all you want, drink all you want, smoke all you want.
Yeah.
Then take another photo. Just switch them. Just tell them the after one's the before.
Everybody's getting
and
there.
the before one's the after.
Everybody's getting there. Post it to Reddit.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it in real life.
Yeah.
I've seen groups like that.
Yeah.
It's fine. You have to make sure you don't age too much. You have to eat a lot quickly.
Yeah.
Because they'd
you
be
need
like,
to do it
hey,
within
you've
a
got
year.
way more. You've got grey hair now
Yeah.
in the before photo.
It's face up.
So confused. Yeah, so confused.
Yeah. Do it within a year. Spend a year to ruin yourself.
So much effort, Cameron.
It's not though. You
I have
you're
to
having a good old
dedicate
time.
myself to eating unhealthy, and I might wake up one day feel like a salad. I have to force myself.
That's where the dedication comes in.
I know.
You're motivated to get healthy, but you're dedicated to get unfit.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah. I am always, I guess, technically dedicated to being unfit. All right, Cameron, I think we've solved that person's problem. Let's get into Today I Learned. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Today I Learned. This Today I Learned is by Malaki Constant 7. Today I learned that if you wanted to see every piece of art in the Louvre in one visit, and you spent 30 seconds observing each piece, it would take you over a month, and that's assuming you were there 24/7 and took no breaks and didn't sleep.
So the question that obviously then, this is what this sounds like to me. A lot of filler.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you got quantity,
Yeah.
but you go for quality, right?
You go for quality.
You're like, oh yeah, you've got 3,000 paintings, whatever. What are the good ones? Like, what are the top? Give me the top 100.
This is what I think happened. I think one day they opened up the Louvre, and they were like, "Well, we've got the Mona Lisa," and then and so they had this huge venue, with just the Mona Lisa, and they're like, "Guess we should put some."
Got a couple of Michelangelos. Put them on that.
Pad this out with just whatever.
You security guard, do you paint?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah. We got space.
Yeah.
Look at all these walls we got.
Man, we really overestimated this facility. The Mona Lisa is not as big as you think it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty small. We'll put a glass case around it to fill up the room a little more, and then some red ropes around that, so the area looks a little bigger.
Yeah.
But they've still got a lot of wall.
Yeah. We got, oh boy, we need to fill this. I think there is. How long do you reckon you need to spend looking at a painting?
I mean, how long is a piece of string? What's the painting? Like.
It's Mona Lisa.
No, look at it online.
I don't need. Yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah.
I don't need 30 seconds.
You get it. Crooked smile. I think because like there was like a MoMA exhibition in Melbourne recently that my girlfriend took me to, and it was like some of them, like the Salvador Dali paintings were there, like the melting clocks and stuff.
Yeah,
and I would stare at them for so long because, and I know this is a dumb thing to say, but you're like
waiting for the clocks to change.
And yeah, no, but you're like, these are really good. And like you're looking at all the line work and stuff like that. Whereas we had a discussion one time about the piece that we saw there that said, this is not art or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Whereas like something like if, someone who's got blank canvases that are a shade of blue, and sure, that color can make you feel something and emote and whatever, but you wouldn't maybe spend as long as you would on something more detailed and more granular. So 30 seconds should do it. Yeah. As a mean, like as a...
I'm thinking 10 seconds max.
Depends how big it is.
And the 10 seconds is only really... I reckon I'm giving it an extra 5 seconds of buffer.
Just in case it's good.
In case it's like a bigger painting,
right.
I guess.
So that's like 5 seconds and then tilt the head 5 more seconds. All right, there we go.
Yeah. I get the gist. I think we should go to the Louvre and try to see every single piece.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours. I think we just bolt down the hallways.
Both have to see all of them, or can we take 50-50?
Oh. I think we should try and see all of them.
Okay, because then what we should do is we should do the opposite to what everyone does, because everyone always comes out and goes, the Mona Lisa is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
We should walk out and be like, you know what the worst piece of shit in the Louvre is?
Yeah.
It's this painting.
Yeah. Trust me, I've seen all of them.
He got its 10 seconds like everyone else.
Yeah.
And I wish I had to spend 5.
Because I think if you're sprinting,
yep.
Imagine you're sprinting down the hallway.
I think you'd have to do a jog.
And with every step, you kind of turning your head from left to right.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon you could see so many in just a few seconds.
But if something really did catch your eye, would you stop the sprint to take it in a little longer?
I mean, if you've saved enough time, I reckon. Because that's like, yeah. Look, definitely, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not sure. Because I'm thinking about, just walking around.
Yeah.
How long would it just take to just walk around?
Yeah.
It can't be days. It's saying what? It's like a month, 24/7, and you can't eat. This seems, you know what? I've decided I think this is fake.
Based on nothing.
Based on nothing at all. But if you're thinking about, if you just work at the Louvre, and you got to walk around to every place, it can't be that big.
It takes a
And
month.
I know that you're not, obviously, if you're working there or whatever, you're not looking at every single piece.
Yeah. I think the way that they get that figure would be like the exponential thing of like, okay, there's 3,000 pieces of artwork, times that by 30, that's this many hours. That many hours is this many. That's how.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the geography of the place, it'd be the amount of.
Yeah, I
but
know,
is that,
but
is
I
that,
still feel like that's not, I don't know. Still seems like too much or something.
Do they say whether it's the art on display?
Oh, yeah, because maybe there's a lot more that's like underground and being kept.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's probably true.
If you wanted to see
actually.
every piece of art in the Louvre in one visit, and you spent 30 seconds going, yeah, but maybe that means like, because
maybe there's only like 1,000 pieces of art being shown at any given time.
But there's like several thousands in some kind of storage underneath.
Yeah. And that would be easier to look at them if you kind of like flicking them through. I imagine
they
they're like
probably
lined up.
They probably have them digitized.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just flick through a screen.
Put them
on an iPad
in a small thumbnail size. Like 20 on one screen.
This is an easy challenge.
Yeah. And again, don't even need to go.
Yeah.
What are you going for? You can see the Mona Lisa online. All right. I've got another one here.
Okay.
It was by Crafty Southpaw. Today I learned Sir Alec Guinness hated his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars. Apart from the money, I regret having embarked on the film, calling the dialogue lamentable. An autograph seeker told him he'd seen the movie over 100 times. He gave him an autograph on the condition he never see the movie again.
Yeah, so I've heard this. Alec Guinness, he was pretty harsh about most of his movies, to be fair.
Right.
A lot of the movies that he did, he's like, oh, they're trash.
Oh.
But he also flip-flopped a lot on all of his movies as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, like, apparently he hated filming Star Wars, especially.
Right.
Because he was like, I don't get what's going on. Starlog's rubbish. I don't know what's happening. And then it came out and it was a huge hit. And you notice he comes back for 2 more films after that.
Yeah. He does say, aside from the money.
Yeah.
I mean,
but at that point in his career, he was super rich. So it's not like it's like Robert De Niro, right? Yeah, money's great, but it's not like he probably needs that much money. He just probably wants to have fun and, do Dirty Grandpa or do whatever,
Yeah.
But like,
I think people that have money want more money.
well, look at Natalie Portman, right?
Yep.
Until recently, it was announced she was going to be in the new Thor movie.
Oh yeah.
Right. And it's because they wanted her back, but she was just like, I got nothing to do. Like, I don't like doing these movies anymore.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure they would have offered her. It's Marvel. They would have offered her a lot of money to come back, but she's like, I don't. So I think if you really, really hate something, you wouldn't come back, and you can be frustrated with it and stuff. But I also happen to know that story about the kid with the autograph is it's not fake, but it's also like the kid has told the story. He's an adult now. Has told the story.
Yeah.
In which it was the kid was like, oh my God, I've seen it 100 times. And he jokingly was like, well, then you should stop watching it. You've seen it 100 times.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an autograph, but you can't watch it anymore.
Yeah.
Which
it wasn't like a serious.
Yeah.
thing.
It was more of like him kind of like having fun with the kid being like, well, you've watched it too many times. You can't watch it anymore.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, admittedly, when reading this, I didn't take it super seriously, but I think the way it's written, it is trying to make it like, oh, he was so annoyed that this.
I've read versions of the story that have like the kid burst into tears and stuff, and it's like, and so I think that he had like a love-hate thing with it, especially because he was like an esteemed actor, like Bridge on the River Kwai and all this like huge career, and then all anyone knows him for after 1977 is, oh, you're Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Oh, you're Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so I'm sure that really like plagued him as well.
Camby, if you paid me enough money, I'd do anything.
Okay.
I just want to put that out there.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
Because you're like, oh, Natalie Portman, oh, she hates it. She'd never do it. Well, this guy must have liked it because all I'm saying is, you pay me enough money, I'll do anything. I don't care what it is.
Right. But I'm saying, I've heard that, but I don't think it's like, I think the perspective people have on him hating it so much, I think is a little skewed. I'm sure he didn't love it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he did. It wasn't like,
yeah, but all I'm saying is, if you paid me enough, I'd do anything.
You'd let Leonardo DiCaprio beat you up or whatever the hell we were talking about last week.
I just want more money.
Well, we got that $4.
Buy shirts.
That $4 incoming. What a crappy cut.
It is pretty crappy. well, I did pretty much nothing.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's generous, if anything.
You uploaded a file, didn't center it.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I can't believe we solved one of those shirts. It's so ridiculous. Who wants a jury nullification shirt? It's brilliant. Okay, let's get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Nyquil Jordan. Smoking kills you, but the actual act of smoking is very healthy practice. Leave a stressful environment, go outside for 5 minutes, and take deep breaths.
Yeah, I guess so. You could do that without the smoking part, though.
Yeah, I think that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
But
I'm saying that's not smoking. That's leaving somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like the act of smoking isn't leaving in whatever. It's
The act of smoking is inhaling the smoke.
yeah, right. Thank you. I couldn't think of the words of what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, like it's interesting that like the habit around smoking
Yeah.
actually there's something to it.
I, as a former smoker,
Mhm.
I think that this is so hard to do without a cigarette. I used to to me it was like having a smoker. It like was such a good break from work. I almost used it as like a reward system almost.
Right.
I didn't think consciously of it as a reward system at the time, but I think that's what it was, in the sense that it'd be like, oh, I'll get this piece of work done, and then I'll go out and have a cigarette.
All right.
And I would do that, and I reckon it did like relax me. It was good for. I remember doing stock take a lot at especially when I was at head office sort of later on in my career, and it was just such an annoying kind of process to go through this stock take because
a lot of counting and inventory and
I didn't actually have to really count anything myself, but I kind of had to manage these different like Excel spreadsheets, and it was just frustrating and annoying. So going out and having a cigarette was just like the best best break that I could have. And then you stopped smoking, and I was like, I'm going to try and do the same thing, where I'll just go outside for a few minutes and do nothing. It's just not the same at all, ever. There's no like real release, I feel like.
You know,
and it's because there's no time limit as well, right? Because the cigarette, the smoker ends when your cigarette ends.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have this cap on just the time itself. But if you just go outside and you're like, okay, I'm just going to have a break, I think I'm conscious of like, well, how long am I taking?
Yeah.
I can't be out here forever. And people just see me like just standing around doing nothing.
I think maybe you could replace cigarette with like a coffee. Go and you sit down and you have a coffee, because they're both kind of like de-stressing things. Right. But what I always find funny is there are people that are always like, oh, it's unfair. How come people that smoke get to go have a break for 10 minutes and go stand outside just because they smoke? Yeah. And you're always like, well, you can go stand outside for 10 minutes if you want. And they're always like, nah, obviously I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Then what's the problem? They're doing something you don't want to do.
And they don't say that when it's freezing cold outside, do they? You know? Us smokers, we had it tough. we would have to smoke in the freezing cold weather. Yeah, we didn't want to. We did.
I wanted to smoke indoors with children.
Yeah, that's right. These damn laws. Okay, here's another one. This is by Atomka. If humans were a little less shit, most wholesome acts would just be common sense.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I think of this occasionally sometimes. It's like when you see something on the news where there's like a feel good story about, I don't know, some like one that I saw not that long ago was like about a autistic kid or something, and how his friends at school kind of looked after him, and because obviously he didn't fit in as well. And it's like, oh, this is a nice story. I'm like, I think we should just not put this on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And I think this should be a normal thing where we just treat people with respect.
Here's an example of someone that we've brought up on the podcast a lot recently and is in the ether a lot, which is Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, he's such a good guy. He's so good. But everything that he does is just something that a nice guy would do.
Yeah.
But people are so used to the idea that someone in Hollywood is so reprehensibly bad as a person that when someone is just like a decent guy, everyone's like, oh my God. You know, he's never sexually assaulted anyone.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's just what a normal person... And like even stories about, there was like at an airport, a plane was cancelled and he apparently rented a van for everyone and like drove them down. right?
Yes.
Which is a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
And if a guy did it, everyone's like, oh, that's a nice guy. But because it was Keanu Reeves and he's a Hollywood actor
Yeah.
and he should be the worst,
Yeah.
then
It's an
everyone's like, it's
expectation.
the best thing anyone's ever done.
You know what we should do then? We should start rumors about how podcasters are the worst. We should encourage our podcaster friends to like molest little kids and stuff. And we'll be like, hey, we don't do that.
I've heard that one
then
of
we're
the
pretty
brothers from my brother and me,
Yeah.
he is, what can I say without getting into much trouble? Druggo. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I always said something like really reprehensible. I'm like, oh no, because that's slander.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a celebrity
So
sort
I've
of
heard.
lifestyle.
So
And
I've
It's
heard.
a celebrity sort of thing
Yeah,
in general,
yeah,
isn't it? I mean, I suppose. Are they? Because they've sort of got celebrity status a little bit.
I guess so. In the podcast realm, at least.
Mm. But yes, I was gonna say something else. Don't know. Oh yeah, you know what the van thing? I think that I don't even know that with the Keanu Reeves. I don't think he necessarily paid for the van, and he didn't drive it either.
No,
like
no,
he was just, in
it. Yeah.
the back.
So he just went in a van with people.
It's just a story about how some people went in a van with Keanu Reeves.
And he was like, all right, see you later. And they got off.
Yeah, but for some reason, it's like the retelling of it is like that he did something really great.
He built a van out of scrap metal.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
I think we've had this one before, so I'm not going to do that. Did we have? Okay, did we have this one? I'm going to quickly say.
Quick audit.
Okay, this is by Coffee and Trees. When someone dies doing a dangerous hobby, it's acceptable to say they died doing what they loved. When someone dies to addiction, evidently saying that thing is not a good idea.
Yeah, we did.
I
Yeah,
think
we
we've
have had that.
definitely
Yeah.
had this one before. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's good.
Go back and listen to whatever episode that was.
Yeah. Okay. I don't really have any good ones left. I should.
Okay, you want to move on?
No, I'll just do this one.
Okay, you do it, not a good one.
This is by NNJV.
Okay.
People buying groceries in their pajamas, have either given up on life or living it to its fullest.
Well, it depends, I think.
Yeah.
If you're talking you sick,
Yeah.
going down to the shops in your pajamas or your trackies or whatever it might be,
Yep.
grabbing piles of junk food off the thing, and then what? I would say that's one end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You're on holiday, maybe on a tropical island,
Yeah.
waltzing to the store,
Yeah.
get a couple of supplies to make a nice breakfast in your pajamas.
Yeah.
Then you're living your life to the fullest. It can be both.
Okay. I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, I'm of the opinion that, I mean, I go down to the shop. I don't really have pajamas, but
Yeah.
I wear tracksuit pants to bed. And so I'll sometimes, and I wear kind of like a ratty t-shirt sort of to bed. And I'll go down in that
Yeah.
to the shops because we're above a supermarket.
We'd have to
So,
leave our premises to do it.
Yeah. So I do that quite frequently. And I think,
You horrify a lot of people down there.
yeah, I really do. Kind of like what I was saying before, like
What?
when I went to get the massage and I'm sick and people are just kind of grossed out by that.
Yeah.
I think there is just that air of, even if I'm down in my tracksuit pants, because sometimes I even wear like really big slippers that look old and ratty as well.
I'll take it one step further. Sometimes you go and empty the bin, and then you take the bin into the shop as like a basket.
Yeah.
So you're walking around like in ratty old clothes and big slippers with a bin
Yeah.
full of food.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And so
Are you living your life to the fullest?
I guess so.
That's the end of the spectrum you've decided you've ended up on.
Yeah, actually, I am living my life to the fullest. No, I think it's my perception of like it, because it's really about what you care about what other people think of you, right?
Yeah.
And I just don't really care that much. I don't know that that's me living my life to the fullest.
Yeah.
or that I've given up on life. I'm not sure where that ends up, where I'm like, I just kind of don't care what these people think. Although I will say I do get a little bit embarrassed if I see somebody that I know at the supermarket. It happened to me the other day, actually. I was like in my tracksuit pants, whatever.
Yeah.
And I ran into a person that used to work with us, actually.
Yep.
And had a quick conversation with him. And I was like, oh, it's a bit embarrassing. I'm looking pretty
And because presumably the last thing he would have known of you was that you were fired.
But he actually did too.
He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How's life after you've been fired?
Yeah.
Going well, it looks.
Yeah. I'm just holding a 6-pack of beers.
And a bin.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah. So I don't know. I think in general, it's like, hey, who cares? If you go out, don't worry about what random strangers are gonna think of you. Live your life to the fullest.
Dance like no one's watching.
Yeah, that's right. Man, I'm getting so many telemarketer calls lately. Okay. Anyway, let's get into podnapping.
Oh my God! I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another podcast, and we do it ourselves.
Yes, this is my week this week.
Thank God.
And
I panicked a little bit. I was like, oh boy, I hope you got something.
You actually inspired me some last week. You did a panel show from England. Obviously, I didn't cheat. I did a podcast.
Okay.
But it is hosted by David Mitchell, who I believe was part of the panel show that you were talking about.
Okay.
So I didn't stray that much.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a show called The Unbelievable Truth. It's actually, I think technically it's a radio show that they put into podcast form.
Yeah, I think I've
the premise of which is that people will give they'll read a short essay on a subject, most of which is completely not true. But they do try and smuggle in the gibberish 5 things that are actually true.
Okay.
And it's up to you, Nelson, to tell me what is actually true about this. And so I've got a little essay here about the color red. And
have you done this yourself, or did you get?
I got this one. Yeah. So this is about the color red.
Whatever.
Well, I was going to credit who I got it from, which is actually they used it as an example on a website to coach English as a second language.
Okay.
So it's EnglishCoachingProjects.net.
Okay.
So
we're sponsored by them.
Yeah. Them and Audible. So I'm going to read this essay about the color red, most of which is completely not true.
Okay.
If I say something you think is true, I want you to stop me. For every correct thing you get right, that's 1 point. For every incorrect thing you guess, -1 or a different amount of points.
Okay.
Depending on how I feel.
Are you going to pause after each point?
No. I'm going to keep reading it like I normally would, and you have to maybe just say what do you want your buzzer to be?
Auga.
Okay, cool. You do that.
I regret that already.
You do that. It's locked in now. Whenever you think that that something might be true that I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay, this is about the color red. In human color psychology, red is associated with cowardice, laziness, greed, envy, and the day Thursday. In scientific laboratories, signs warning of hazards are usually bright red to denote danger.
Auga.
Go on.
The red is danger.
Not true. They're normally yellow. As every school child knows, red is the third color of the speculum. It is the favorite color of teachers who nearly always...
Wait. Red is the third color of what?
The speculum. Do you want a awooga?
Yeah.
It's not true.
Fuck.
It is the favorite color of teachers who nearly always wear red underwear when they're working to get special discounts at Myer when purchasing their lingerie and pajamas.
Well, that's definitely true.
Every creature on Earth knows the difference between red and green, except guide dogs for the blind who can't tell the difference between red lights and green lights. They are trusted to direct their owners across the street purely because they are known to be extremely lucky.
What?
It is recognized that red is the most attractive hair color by far. And yet...
I'm actually very attracted to red-headed people. Can I awooga that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not true.
But I'm attracted to redheads. So it's true to me. That's a point for me.
Sure, why not? It is recognized that red is the most attractive hair color by far. And yet,
Not by far. Yeah, okay. You know what? That's not
and
true.
yet, when a survey was carried out in 2008, it found 62 of the world's 100 richest men were married to brunettes, 22 were married to blondes, 16 were married to black-haired women, but none were married to redheads. Silent movie star Clara Bow, you look like you're hesitating.
It's because these all kind of sound like they could maybe be true.
That's the game,
Except for
Nelson.
the insane ones.
Silent movie, you haven't got a single right one yet.
Because
Single
you haven't
movie
said a
stars
true one yet.
Clara Bow had her hair dyed red to match.
Wait, I want to work at the last one.
Okay, about the 100 richest men, none of
Yeah.
them married to redheads?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Oh, yes. I glassed over that. I breezed over that. But then yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Go again.
Silent film star Clara Bow had her hair dyed red to match the fur on her two red setters, like the seats. It had no adverse effect on her film career, however, because she appeared solely in black and white films. Although they may never go grey or bald, redheads start out with less hair than anyone else.
Oh, I think Olga.
Go on.
Olga.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have an average of 90,000 hairs compared to 140,000 hairs if you're a blonde. Compared to other colored hairs, red is noticeably sensitive. Many red-haired people dislike going to the hairdresser as much as going to the dentist, as they can actually feel the hairs being cut.
No, that's
This
bullshit.
sensitivity isn't only restricted to the hair. In fact, researchers have shown that people with ginger hair require 20% more anesthetic before going into surgery than people with other colored hair.
That's bullshit.
The spice ginger gets its name from the profuse red hairs found on the roots before it is prepared for market.
Say that one again?
The spice ginger gets its name from the profuse red hairs found on the roots before it is prepared for market.
No, I'm not going to get that.
You're not going to? Okay.
No.
Last chance to a wigger it.
No.
Okay. Scientists in South Korea have manipulated the genes in a cat to make it glow red. The so-called fire cat gives out enough light to read a book by. The scientists explain that they have done this to benefit the animals because the red cat will now be invisible to dogs. Meanwhile, scientists in North Korea have been working on a project to make everyone in South Korea grow red in the dark. That is the end of my essay about the color red. Nelson,
Okay, so
I
got
snuck so many facts through.
I got like 3 right, maybe. I got... Did they have less hair?
Less hair than everyone else. You got about the 100 richest men.
Yeah.
None of them married to redhead.
Yeah.
Did you get any other ones?
I feel like I got another one.
I don't know if you did. Shall I tell you, Nelson, which of those you missed?
Yeah.
Guide dogs cannot tell the difference between red lights and green lights.
Oh, I did think that, but then you went on to say that.
Oh yeah, there's
and
a
they're
joke
trusted.
saying they're
I
trusted
think-
purely because they're lucky.
Yeah.
But
I
that is
think
true.
that I thought that was a part of the same fact, so I just didn't. I
That's
was
very
like, well,
much
that's
the-
insane.
It's very much the sneakiness of the game
Oh.
is sometimes one half of a sentence is true, but the other
Okay.
half is not true.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
But yeah, that is true. Guide dogs cannot tell the difference between red lights and green lights.
Okay, yeah.
You also missed that ginger hair people require 20% more anesthetic before surgery than people
What?
with other colored hair.
No way.
And
That's pretty insane.
there's one more fact there that you didn't get. Do you want to guess what it is?
From all of them.
Yep. Did anything stand out to you like, oh, maybe that was true, but I wasn't sure and I didn't want to.
Maybe the ginger root one. Nah, actually, I don't think so. Nah, I think.
I'm telling you, there's one more fact. You just want to take a stab in the dark?
Is it one of the insane ones at the end? about them trying to turn a cat red or something like
Scientists in South Korea have manipulated the genes of a cat to make it glow
Fuck.
red.
that.
Hence,
is...
I wanted to know whether you want to take a stab in the dark, Nelson.
Oh.
The researchers have told the AFP that their work could help unravel mysteries of some 250 genetic diseases suffered by both humans and cats. There's actually a red cat and a green cat. There's photos of them online.
Whoa.
It's one single cat each.
Yeah.
The thing about them being invisible to dogs is not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is called the fire cat, and the findings also could be used to clone endangered tigers, leopards, and other animals. The reports say.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
There's some pretty unbelievable truths for you there, Nelson.
Yes.
About
now
the color red.
But see, I've already forgotten what's true and what's not. So if anybody asks me in future, I'm going to just assume they're all facts. I'm going to be bringing this up at a party in a few, like months' time and be like, do you know guide dogs just by luck get their owners across the road?
It's crazy.
Pretty crazy. But that was really good, actually.
I'm glad you liked it.
You put effort into that.
Wow, I took it off a website.
Yeah.
But it's a really good show. I think it's there's some podcast form of it. It's a radio show, and they also sell seasons on Audible, which sponsored this podcast. So that's a really good.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. All right. Well, now we can get into the Ask Me Anything.
Oh, geez.
Well, listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want. We have 3. I've got 3 here. And they are by, I should have done 4. That makes more sense. Whatever. Anyway, and they were all sent through on our subreddit.
Yes, it's a week of love for the subreddit.
Yeah.
So we do have a couple other emails, and we will get back to you, but we wanted to show some love to the subreddit.
Yeah.
Got one here from Vorbold. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite podcast before you started podcasting? Do you still listen to it now, Bill?
That's Bill, as in from Escape's podcast.
Oh, no,
Bill. Okay, all right.
We know Bill. My favorite podcast before we started a podcast.
Yeah.
And I think the first podcast I ever listened to was the Ricky Gervais show.
Oh,
which was like the podcast, like the original podcast.
Yeah.
There is a point in the second season of that show where he actually says, so this new format they've called podcasting.
Right,
That's how early on in the podcasting sphere
Yeah.
that show was. So much so that they didn't have like podcast apps and stuff. And it was sold as audio books.
Yeah.
Because there was like, what is it? It's
Audible.
like,
We're sponsored by Audible. I just want to put
yeah.
that.
Yeah, they're all available. Audible.com/readitpodcast. Right. Give it a go. And do I still listen to it? No, because it's obviously wrapped up.
Yeah.
I do listen to them
I'd say you still listen to it.
again, like a lot.
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais
not-
does have a new podcast called Ricky Gervais is Deadly Serious,
Oh,
but I don't like it.
Yeah, I think I listened to like one episode and didn't grab me.
No, I feel that we both really love Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
But Ricky Gervais lately, I quite liked his Netflix show, Afterlife, I think it was called.
Afterlife, yeah.
I thought that was quite good, but his latest stand-up and his latest podcast and stuff like that, something about them is not quite landing for me. I don't know what it is. I think
Yeah. What was his last stand-up? I can't even remember.
I don't know.
Anywho, yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. For my podcast, I actually can't even really remember. I might have listened to The Adventure Zone, which is a D&D podcast one, which is these guys from My Brother and Me.
Yep. I also remember before we started this podcast, when you were kind of like pitching it to me,
yeah.
you were like, I listened to this Dota podcast, and they're just like, guys, like, it's not even that good.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one, actually. Yeah. It's the We Like Dota podcast.
Yeah.
That's gone way downhill.
Is it?
They
Because when you
basically-
pitch it to me in the first place, you're like, it's not even that good. I just like it.
Yeah.
That could be us. We could be not that good, but people just like us.
And we've achieved that. But yeah, that was good at the time. It was literally just these guys that are just like, this one guy, he was just really wholesome person. I think that
Right.
kind of made the podcast, and he was just talking about how much he loved playing Dota, and he's like, oh man, these sets are so cool, and like, I don't know, just very genuine. But then he had a kid, and some other guy kind of took over it, and he's just the worst.
Oh, okay.
Just
So
totally
it changed
the
guard.
worst. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Look forward to that when one of us has a kid.
Yeah.
This dynamic's going down the toilet.
Exactly. Then that definitely would have been one of the first ones then. But yeah, don't listen to it anymore. And I guess Hamish and Andy, who were radio hosts.
That's true. Yeah. That is kind of also how I transitioned, because I don't listen to the radio, but I did always like their show whenever I heard it, and I knew that they did at that point daily podcast of it.
Yeah.
So I would often just go and catch up on it in podcasts, and then I would discover other podcasts. And yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Plus, we do Podnap them a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yes, that is it. Thank you, Bill or Vobold. I have one here from 420 Bill Cosby.
Oh God.
And he says, does women tennis need more or less crying, and why? I don't.
Is there context behind this that I don't know about?
I don't know at all. Like I mean, I don't really. I used to follow the tennis, like I guess when I was younger, a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that there was much crying.
I'm trying to work out if this is something that's happened recently that maybe we don't know about.
Maybe.
Or is it like, I remember it was Serena Williams, right? She had what people called a tantrum.
Right.
About a referee, about like a call that she thought was unfair.
Right.
And
Yeah.
people were kind of like,
Happens all the time. Yeah.
yeah, people were kind of like, dragging her across the thing, and other people were like, no, she's actually taking a stand and whatever.
Yeah.
Is that a reference to that, or something happened? Does it need less crying?
Here's
I
what
don't
my
know.
understanding at the moment is that there's no crying. Right? So then, and this is men and women, really.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm thinking, add a little bit of crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should there be more or less? More, I think. Because if there's none at the moment, add a bit of crying.
I think add crying to both genders.
Yeah.
If you lose, you have to sit in the middle of the court and cry.
Just cry.
and like, even if you're like, it was a good game, I'm not even that sad about losing. Like,
Yeah.
no, come here, cry.
You've got to cry.
If you don't cry, we're gonna keep flicking you.
Show you pictures of baby puppies that are being put down or something like that.
Gee, you and the dogs
Cry.
every time.
It's just an easy go-to. But do you know what? Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about tennis.
Okay.
Okay? Because at the moment, we've got the Australian tennis players. Australians have always been pretty good at tennis.
Yeah.
But we at the moment have two guys that are just fucking assholes. They literally, I think most Australians, I want to say like 85%. I actually want to go higher than that. But I'm
86.
just assuming that there is a small percentage that do like them. But they're just assholes. They it's Bernard Tomic. Bernard Tomic. It's something. I can't remember his name now. Actually,
You're looking at me for help, but I can't help you.
Kyrgios is the other one, and he just Nick Kyrgios. He just like throws a tanty when he's losing and will just fake injuries. And you can tell they're so fake. He'll be getting totally smashed in a game and he'll be like, oh, got a sore foot. You're like, you fucking wanker. And not that long ago, we have Ash Barty, who is the female number one. I'm pretty sure she's number one in the world.
Thierry Bardo, we call her.
Yeah. And only recently, the Channel 7 here, who shows the tennis, was showing this Nick Kyrgios guy having a tantrum on some tennis court, like his game that nobody cared about because he's a piece of shit anyway. And instead, our world number one female tennis player wasn't getting any screen time at all. And I was like, this is so fucked up. Like, it seems so wrong to me. And
It sounds like the men's tennis in Australia has too much crying.
far too much crying. Knock out the crying.
No, we just said increase the crying.
I take it back.
Lower it for men. Increase it for women.
Increase it for women.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
We do have one last one here, and I now see why you've picked the one before because you just want to talk about tennis.
Yeah.
From Darweed221. And he wants to know, why isn't this sub more popular? Pretty simple.
This is more of a question for the listeners, I think.
I think it's on us. We don't do much with it.
Okay, yeah, there's that too.
we just post our new episodes every week, and then
Yeah.
then every now and then we're like, oh, also we're going to subreddit.
Last week I posted the week before I posted the Keanu Reeves deep fake thing that you showed me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's a bit of interesting content.
La-di-da,
People
Nelson,
might
you
like.
did one thing in your goddamn
Yeah,
life.
and they could probably say that anywhere, really. They don't really.
I'm sure it was trending on Reddit elsewhere,
really-
like
yeah.
r/videos.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That has like 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I think listeners, you should go on that sub.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
you know what we could do is kind of like the Uber driver thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can just air your grievances there.
Yeah.
If you want, we might give you advice. It's not going to be good.
But we'll give it to you.
We'll give it to you.
Yeah. We can be an agony aunt.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe a section that's like road rage.
Right, so we just complain about things?
We just complain about cars.
Okay.
But yeah, feel free to go there, everybody. It's
free.
Reddit podcast.
We don't charge you a cent to go there.
Yep.
And can other podcasts say that? We can't strictly say they do.
They might. If you would like to go there and ask us a question just like these fine fellows, it's Reddit Podcast, READIT Podcast. You can also reach us at Facebook, at Twitter, and our email, readitpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
And also we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe and rate us. And thank you for everybody who's written in. We do have a bit of a backup on emails. We might do another 3-fer or 4-fer or something. I don't know. 4's far too much.
Yeah. And we do ask, just a little simple thing of everyone, is just to tell every single person that you know to listen.
Yeah.
So there's that small favor as well.
It's not much.
Yep.
It's not much to ask, I think.
Yeah.
Go
to your contact, text all.
Yeah. Hey,
I've
have you
solved
heard
the
about
problem for
Reddit
you.
on Reddit?
Here's a link.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's almost insulting not doing it because it is so easy.
We're sorry about some of the audible quality of our voices this episode.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be better next week, or one of us will be dead, and then again the show will never be the same because then there'll be another host and we won't have the same dynamic.
Yeah. Ugh. Huge problem. Thanks for listening. We will read you later.